Okay, so I just want to take a second at this point in the lesson because of your exit slip last class. Some of you either did really well on adding and subtracting integers or you didn't. And for some of you, it's just a processing thing. It's going to take you more time to process how to add and subtract integers. And once you have it, I think you're going to understand it, and it's going to seem like you can't believe that you didn't do well in your first exit slip, and that's okay. Some of us just take a little bit more time to process. So I just want to take a quick second to review all of the operations with integers. So if you'd like to just follow along on this video, you can. If you'd like to find a blank page to take some additional notes, or you'd like to maybe just put some extra examples on the outer edge of your adding and subtracting rules, and then your multiplying and dividing rules page, it's totally up to you if you want to put the extra examples in your notebook on the outer edges or not. But I want to look first at the adding and subtracting integer rules. Remember that for addition, if signs are the same, we add and keep. Different signs subtract, and take the sign of the number with more. Or we had a little silly song. Some of you might be deciding maybe it's time to try a silly song for Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So it's totally up to you. But I just want to do just a couple quick examples here of the adding rules, of the adding integer rules. So if we've got negative 6 plus 10, signs are different, so we want to subtract 10 minus 6, which is 4, and keep the sign with the greater absolute value. In this case, that's positive 10, so my answer is positive 4. And we talked about fight or be friends. These two things are going to fight, so we would have 6 negatives and 10 positives. And so if you can picture it, even if you don't draw it out on your paper every time, you should picture more positives than negatives, and so you'll know that your answer is going to be positive, and you're just going to have whatever's left after you subtract and cancel all of those out. Now, when signs are the same and we're adding, like negative 7 plus negative 15, if signs are the same, we want to add and keep. So if you, again, can picture your mountain, you know you've got 7 negatives over here, you've got 15 negatives over here. They're going to join armies. They're going to be friends. So we're going to add the two together. 7 plus 15 is 22. And then we're going to keep the sign, which is negative for both of them. And our answer here is negative 22. So when signs are the same, we add and keep. When signs are different, we subtract and keep the sign with more. That was our adding integer rules. Then subtracting integer rules, I want you to think and come up with what were those 3 letters that we talked about. Hopefully you're thinking the 3 C's. Copy, change, change. And so I'm going to give you just a couple subtraction problems now. Let's say we have 6 minus negative 9. When we use the 3 C's, we're always going to copy the first number. We're going to change subtraction to addition, and we're going to change negative 9 to positive 9. What I saw a lot of you doing on your papers during station work last time was a lot of you were trying to do this in your head instead of actually showing the work and showing this step. It's really important that you show this step just so you can visually see, because once you see 6 plus 9, you know how to do that. You've been doing that for a long time. You know that same signs add and keep. So 6 plus 9 is 15, and it's a positive number, so my answer has to be positive. So my biggest suggestion for subtracting integers will be to show your work. I'm going to do one more, 7 minus 3. When you see subtracting with integers, you're automatically going to copy, change, change. So I'm going to copy my negative 7. I'm going to change my subtraction to addition. I'm going to change positive 3 to negative 3. And now same signs add and keep. So 7 plus 3 is 10. And keep the negative symbol So negative 7 minus 3 is equal to negative 10. So as soon as you see subtraction with integers, you should automatically use your 3C's, and then you'll also have to use your addition rules to help you once you actually show the work for copy, change, change. For today's lesson, you learned about multiplying and dividing integers, and I will tell you that the toughest part of doing all these operations with integers is keeping the rules separate. Because when we add and signs are the same, we add and keep the signs, so it could be negative, it could be positive. But when we multiply, if signs are the same, it's always positive. So I'll show you a quick example here. Like if we have negative 6 plus negative 5, same signs add and keep, we get negative 11. And all too often I hear, well, signs are the same, so my answer has to be positive. Well, actually it doesn't. Because when our adding rules are different than our subtracting rules, if we have negative 6 times negative 5, signs are the same, so our answer is positive 30. So just make sure that you're keeping your two rules separate. Your adding and subtracting rules are different than your multiplying and dividing rules. And when we multiply and divide and signs are the same, our answer is positive. When we multiply or divide and our answers are or our factors are different signs, for example, negative 4 times 3, when signs are different, our answer is negative, and we get negative 12. So there are a couple multiplication examples. Remember that you do have cheat sheets in your notes to help you as you work through your activities today. This is like the ultimate cheat sheet. Signs are the same, answer is positive. If signs are different, the answer is negative. I'm just going to do two more examples with you, some division examples to review everything that we've done the past 2 days. So your division example, I'm going to give you negative 40 divided by negative 2. And negative 40 divided by negative 2, signs are the same, so my answer is going to be positive. And 40 divided by 2 is positive 20. Let's do one where signs are different. Let's do negative 36 over 6. When you see the fraction bar, you should recognize the fraction bar as a division symbol. And negative divided by a positive is a negative, so my answer is going to be negative. And 36 divided by 6 is 6. So my answer for negative 36 divided by 6 is negative 6. And so at this point, you're ready to move on with your lesson today, which is going to review adding and subtracting integers, and it's also going to give you a lot of extra practice on multiplying and dividing integers so that you can do your exit slip today over multiplying and dividing integers at the end of the lesson.